to meal prepping, you want to work smarter, not harder, because you want to make the best use of your time in the kitchen. So today we are going to focus on making 3 dishes simultaneously using one common ingredient, which is the sweet potato. So we're going to make a sweet potato chili, we're going to make a sweet potato hash, and we're going to make a sweet potato chocolate pudding. All recipes are gluten-free and dairy-free. Go ahead and put 5 to 6 sweet potatoes in the oven to bake. You can set the oven to 350 or 375. And these sweet potatoes are going to be for the sweet potato pudding, which we're going to make at the end. I've already baked my sweet potatoes. I did that early this morning while the kids were getting ready for school and while we were doing school drop off. So I'm just gonna set these aside, but you go ahead and put yours in the oven to bake while we're making the other dishes. Start with preparing our sweet potatoes for both dishes. Both dishes require cubed and peeled sweet potatoes, so I'm gonna do all of that at one time. And then as I'm cooking my recipes, I'm just going to divvy up the sweet potatoes between the 2 recipes. Okay, so now that our sweet potatoes are peeled and cubed and ready for our sweet potato hash and our sweet potato chili, we're gonna go ahead and dice up our tomatoes for the sweet potato chili. Okay, so now we are ready to start cooking because we have prepared all of our ingredients. And in order to work smarter and not harder in the kitchen, I also recommend, in addition to picking out recipes that have similar ingredients, I recommend picking out recipes that you can cook at the same time. So with these 3 recipes, the sweet potato hash, the sweet potato chili, and the sweet potato chocolate pudding, we can cook all of those pretty much at the same time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our chili because the chili takes the longest to cook and it can cook in the background. It can be simmering while we're working on the other meals. All right, so let's get started. First is we're going to brown our ground meat. We're going to add in the tomatoes and we're going to saute the onions with the meat and tomato mixture. And then we're going to add in some seasoning. We're going to throw in our potatoes and our broth and we're going to just let it simmer. All right, so now that the sweet potato chili is simmering, we're gonna start on the sweet potato hash. And the sweet potato hash is a 1 skillet meal. It's very simple, it's easy to prepare, it's easy to cook, and it actually will take place mostly in the oven, so that frees you up to prepare another dish while that's baking. So what we're gonna do first is we are going to brown our turkey ground meat and our onions and garlic and celery. And then we're going to just put in the potatoes. We're gonna mix them up and saute them for just a few minutes, add a little bit of broth so that it's not dry, any seasonings, salt, pepper, thyme, and things like that. And then we're gonna just stick it in the oven at 375 and we're going to bake it until the sweet potatoes are very tender. And that's it. It's a very simple meal. So with this sweet potato hash, it'll take about 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes to bake in the oven. And so what I do is I normally just set the timer for 30 minutes and I check it and I stir it, and then I set the timer for every 15 minutes after that until it's done. This next recipe is one that I sort of made up on my own because I wanted to satisfy my sweet tooth, but in a healthy way and in a way that I could still enjoy chocolate, but a non-dairy version of chocolate. In order to get the chocolate flavor in this recipe, I use cocoa powder. And cocoa powder is different than cocoa because it is the cocoa bean before it's roasted. And so it is in its raw state, it's minimally processed, there's no additives, it's a great source of magnesium, and it has a ton of antioxidants. So the way we make this recipe is we take our baked sweet potatoes and we take them out of the skin and we put them in the mixing bowl. If your baked sweet potatoes are no longer warm, like mine aren't because I baked them earlier today, you want to go ahead and maybe heat up your ghee and your coconut milk just a little bit in order to have the ingredients mix well with the sweet potato. If you've baked your sweet potatoes long enough, they are going to come out rather easily out of the skin. You know, they may just even like flop out. So once you have the potatoes all peeled and in the mixing bowl, you want to go ahead and add a little bit of maple syrup. I don't measure all the time when it comes to this because, like I said, this is a dish that I kind of made up on my own. So I just really do it until it's sweet enough. And then you want to add a little bit of vanilla. You want to make sure you're using pure vanilla, like 100% vanilla extract. You want to do a dash of cinnamon. You want to do a couple of tablespoons of ghee. And ghee is lactose free, so it's a non-dairy alternative to butter. And in addition to the ghee, you want to do a little bit of coconut cream. And I do organic coconut cream, premium native forest. And it's gonna be, you know, thick and creamy, and there's not a lot of liquid to it. So you just wanna scoop up the cream. There's gonna be a little bit of liquid in the bottom of the can. You don't want that. You just want the cream. All right, and then you're gonna add your cocoa powder. You wanna just find any organic, vegan cocoa powder. You can get it at Whole Foods, you can order it off Amazon. And you just want to do a couple of tablespoons of the cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is not sweet, so you have to add sweetener to it. And in this recipe, for that, we're going to be using things like the maple syrup and a little bit of coconut palm sugar. So I'm going to add a little bit of coconut palm sugar as well so that I can sweeten it. All right, so once you have all the ingredients in, you just want to go ahead and mix it with your mixer until it's the consistency you like. And there you have it. Your sweet potato pudding is a great dessert because it satisfies your craving for sweets and your craving for chocolate while giving you all the health benefits of the sweet potato. It's also very versatile in that you can eat it either warm or cold. It just depends on how you enjoy it. We have cooked 3 dishes in under 2 hours. We've cooked the sweet potato hash, we've cooked the sweet potato chili, and we've made sweet potato chocolate pudding. If you're enjoying all these recipes, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out the playlist Cooking in the Kitchen with Kristen. If you suffer with Hashimoto's, please be sure to check out my new online thyroid health coaching program. In this program, I give you all the tools and resources you need to get the healing you desire and deserve. Just click the link below.